Everybody, hope you guys are doing awesome. Thank you for attending. I think this is our third partners Aspire Marketing webinar for both loan officers and loan originators. We're going to just take a minute or two here just to allow people to jump on. One thing that we added this time is we're actually streaming live on our partners Facebook page as well. So what I'm going to encourage you guys to do, both on Zoom or in Facebook Live, is to leave comments there. Jake's going to be monitoring that. I'm going to monitor it here as well. And we just wanted this to be interactive. Man, it'd be even great if you had a question and you were in a place that we could upgrade you to a panelist and have you come on and ask your question live. Again, I just think it's really great to have the interaction and be able to make sure we get your question right, answer it, and make sure you're complete with it. So as always, I am here with Jake Lester. Jake is going to be running the visuals and things like that just because I don't trust myself. And then we got Mark Manieri on here as well. And so Mark is going to be jumping in and out of the conversation, talking about a bunch of things as we go. So, yeah, let's kick it off, Jake. How are we doing with? Oh wow, yeah, we got a bunch of people on, and a couple more joining. But let's jump into it. One thing that I will say is, we've got a couple of partner webinars already on the YouTube account. So if you are new to Aspire, just know that there's some really great content that you can absorb by going to our YouTube page and watching the videos there. Jake, how can we put that link? Maybe we'll send that out with the video afterwards so that people can go back and.
Yeah, so the last loan originator webinar, we sent the recording link in the format of a YouTube playlist link. Okay. So they can bookmark that one. We'll do the same for this call. And that way all loan originators, real estate agents, and whoever else is on the call today can bookmark that to specifically view the real estate agent loan originator calls.
Awesome. Yeah, so guys, the first call was with one of my really good friends, Josh Leoch. We've come to become very good friends. He's a high producing real estate agent out of the Boston market, west of Boston. He does about 130 sides every single year. He actually talks about some best practices that we're actually going to talk about today, but he talks about it then as well. Also, Rich Clayton, our other partner, is one of his real estate agents is on there as well, Mike McPherson, and he's been on the book. I think it was 9 months, and he's got over 10 referrals from his vendor partners. And so it was just a really great call. So make sure you check that out. So let's get into some housekeeping items. First and foremost, we talked about the Facebook groups. If you are not in our Facebook groups, we encourage you to go and do that, be in action around it right after this call. For loan officers, there's 2 Facebook groups for you. First of all, there's an ambassador Facebook group. If you're not on that, you need to be. It's a closed group. You have to be a member of Aspire Marketing, and then we share, and loan officers share some really, really great tips and ways to grow your business, even further than the playbook. And for loan officers, for real estate agents, you've got the partner page. If you're not part of the partner page, I encourage you to get there. Jake's got it up on the screen as we speak. That's what the heading looks like. There's some really great dialogue within there. Jake, if you can scroll back up, I'm going to encourage you guys to take this a step farther. Right there in the notifications, here's why, because Facebook can get kind of busy, I recommend on both loan originators and loan officers to hit the notification button and then hit all post. Jake, you weren't even on all posts, Jake? Come on, man, I teed you up for this. Hit all posts. This is going to just allow you to be notified when some really great content is happening over in the partners page. So now Jake's all set. You should be all set, and really make sure that we're doing this. What I'll tell you is we met with the team yesterday, and we are going to really, really step up the interaction, the content which goes on in that Facebook pages. So there's gonna be really some great things coming your way. Second of all, what I want to talk about is Mark. Give me a thumbs up if you're good. Okay. Mark spent a lot of time over the last couple of weeks really taking our training and our modules and putting it on steroids. Everybody, when you signed on, loan officers, you got 10 modules. Real estate agents, you got some links and clicks and PDFs. Mark has got to the studio and has really upgraded that as well. So Mark, tell us a little bit about what you've added to that training section of the website. You're on mute.
No, I'm not. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, so as you shared, the real estate agent training side was static. It was text-driven, which is great. There's some really valuable assets in there. And what we've done is we've added, I believe, 4 or 5 or 6 new audio modules there. Some of those complement the PDFs, and others are standalone. So just as a review, if you haven't listened to them yet, there's I'm going to give you some of the names of these. So one is called The Fundamental Element of Creating Results. It's all about commitment. And commitment is an overused word right now in the business climate, and we take a real strong position on it. And so that'll really serve you. We talk about 3 different states of competition, or 3 different states of relationships that you could have with people, and how to upgrade yourself into the highest performing state of competition and relationship and what that looks like. We talk about how to get prepared for action, so organizing yourself, and then also creating an upgraded meeting. So what does that actually mean? What is an upgraded meeting? And how to use your language powerfully that has people show up in a way where they're very ready to hear what you have to say when you're making a playbook proposal. They've cut their distractions out. You've got all of their attention. And that's, in many cases, half the battle, because there's so much noise coming at us today. So there's a couple other ones in there, and that's what I'd say for now, Rick. But I would encourage everyone to, download them, listen in, and they'll make a difference for you.
Yeah, and I just wanted to, for people that maybe be new to Aspire, because we're adding on a ton of real estate partners every single week. Mark Manieri is one of the leading executive coaches in the country. Mark trains some of the top loan officers in the country, and he has a huge background in teaching and training thousands of real estate agents. So that's just who you've got over there. And what you will get out of the training is extremely valuable. So these are, the way we've done this is so you guys can go on to the website via your cell phone, listen to it while you're at the gym, listen to it in your commute to like, there's no excuse, right? That we've got plenty of time to consume content audibly and, did I say audibly? Via audio. So, and just telling you, it'd be a real gift to spend some time. And they're not long, right, Mark? They're maybe 8, 10, 12 minutes. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So love your feedback on that. If there's anything else that we can help you guys with that you feel would be very valuable in the training section, let us know. I mean, that's what Jake, Mark, I, and Rich are here for. So we're here to serve you guys and just make sure that you guys are all rock stars in your businesses. So Jake, before I transition out of the housekeeping items and get into the meat of what we're going to talk about, do you have anything that you want to add, or did I miss?
No, I think that's great. I think if I could add one thing, it would just be like you were just saying, Rick, if there's anything that you guys need from us as far as training content, go ahead and just throw it in the Facebook page, or you can also email us. Most of you have our direct emails, but preferably you can email support@aspiremarketingsystems.com, and we'll make sure that it gets addressed really quickly.
Yeah, awesome. Mark, you complete?
Complete.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump into this. Again, I'm meeting with the team the other day, and we were just blown away by how many people are just emailing us on wins and successes. And things that they're out in the world doing that we didn't actually think about in 2 years of Rich and I rolling this out to our real estate partners in the Boston market. We didn't even think about. So this is what this call is. These calls are all about, is to share what the community's out there doing and where they're seeing just gigantic wins. So what I want to talk about, a couple of things here, is starting off with getting started, getting out of the gate. You've got your books been delivered, or maybe they're on their way, but now what do I do? And so, as you know, in the trainer, may not know, there is a brainstorming form there that we have created. We've identified 50 different service providers that a buyer needs once they own their home. Now, I hear people going, "Oh my God, it's 50. I'm going to get so overwhelmed." Yeah, don't. That's not what this is all about. All right. We don't want analysis paralysis here. So how do you eat an elephant? Like one bite at a time. So what I would recommend everybody doing is going and finding the top 5 people that they're going to go after in the next week or two. And we give you the scripts on how to do that. One of the great things that that someone came up with, and it's a great idea, is I call this a cattle call. But so I did an interview a week or two ago with a good friend of mine, loan officer Jeremy Devaney. He's out of the Boston market as well, and his real estate agent, VJ Devine. He's actually been active in the partner page as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post that video here today. I'm going to post it in the Facebook page. So it's about 20 minutes, so we get a lot more in depth. But I want to just touch upon some of the really great things that happened that he did. Essentially what he did, and he sent out emails to a bunch of vendors and service providers and encouraged them to bring people in as well. And I think, unfortunately he had it was a wintry day that day, and he had like 15 people show up. He was expecting 15 people. I call that a win. But we talked about what happened at the event, and everybody was so jazzed up around what VJ was up to with the Real Estate Buyers Playbook. He had some people that showed up that you wouldn't automatically think, oh, they'd be great for the book. But we actually started brainstorming while we were on the video. He had a personal chef that came and that was looking to grow his business. And, man, I wouldn't think about that. But if you think about it, man, what if VJ did a closing gift of the private chef comes in and does a private dinner for his guests, his family, when they get moved in and settled. And then that gives that person an in to maybe do some business with that homeowner down the road. So again, things like that. But, some people will, take the coffee position. They'll go and do coffees. They'll do lunches, go grab a drink, talk about the opportunity. VJ had everybody come to him and had a really captive audience. And now what I would recommend, and I'm pretty sure VJ is doing this, is taking it to, great. If you're interested in this, then let's, give me your business card and let's meet, right? Because there's some qualifications, of course, you want to do with everybody that you put in the back of the book. And I don't want that to get lost in like a networking mixer in type of thing. So.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just ask a question here? I want to be clear for myself as well as for everyone else on the line. So you got Jeremy Devaney, loan originator, right? And his real estate agent is VJ, yes?
Yep.
And so VJ had the idea that, hey, I love this concept. I'm on board, and I want to be as efficient as possible in finding the service provider partners that I could fill up the back of my playbook with. And I'm going to bring them all together in one central venue and have conversations with them and share the concept, and then determine who loves the idea, who's aligned with it, and who's not. And those that are, and I'll go meet with them one-on-one, and in one fell swoop, like he's got, 20 plus partners or more.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely.
That's a brilliant idea. Yeah, and what you've spoken to it, I'll just add a little more language to it, is for VJ and for any other agent who's listening, I want you to think about the value that is brought to a homeowner. And I'm putting myself in the shoes of a homeowner, and I am a homeowner, that when you have all of the vendor partners that you're going to need for the lifetime of owning your home, and they're in one spot and they're all vetted, like that is extraordinary value. And just like it's not a stretch to think about that. You know, most of the people listening are homeowners yourselves, and what a freaking gift that is. So I love what VJ's doing. I'm so excited to hear this this is the first time I'm actually hearing about it, and I'm super stoked. And yeah, I just want to make sure everybody's clear about the strategy in it, and then also the value that you're going to be bringing to people when you do this. And given that value that is present for the homeowner, it creates a platform for you, the agent, to then go be one-on-one with the vendor partner and have what we call an upgraded conversation that says, hey, I'm going to work with 15, 20, 25, 30 buyers this year. At some point in the course of them owning their home, they're going to use you. That's going to be happening every year. Man, I want to drive everybody to you, and exclusively you in your category. And my only ask is that we create a relationship that has you thinking about me for business opportunities, just like I'm thinking about you for them. So anyway, all of that training on how to have that powerful conversation is in our training platform. But man, I'm stoked about this and love the idea. Back to you, Rick.
Yeah, and what I'll do and what I'll talk about is, once you get that amount of people, I talk to a lot of people that are in these networking, BNI, tips, all these other things. And one of the common things I'm hearing is, well, I wouldn't recommend everybody in the group. I'd only recommend half the people in the group. And I get up at 7 a.m. on every week, and I'm only getting 1 or 2 deals a year out of it. Man, how powerful is it to create your own mini BNI group? So you've got 10 or 15 or 20 people in the back of the group, the back of the book, and you're inviting them once a month to meet each other, right? And so now the CPA just met the plumber, and the estate planner just met the accountant, and then all of a sudden these people start to do business with each other. And because of who? Because of you, the real estate agent. It's your group. And if they don't align with you anymore, you take them out of the book. It's just really easy. And then we've got ways to do that. So I love it to get the partners engaged, and really easy way to go, yep, you're in. Then have to kind of, send emails out and set up these meetings. So anyway, there's a couple of different ideas there. One of the things a couple of my real estate agents have done as well is post on their Facebook page. Jake, do you want to pull up? I think we had Paul Coleman do it, and 1 or 2 other ones. But talk about engagement. Like Paul, posted this. If you own any kind of business, of course, no competition. Please post what you offer or sell. That I need, 100 business owners. My clients are always asking for referrals, right? And then you get people just going boom, 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 me. And then Paul goes through and he just goes, again, it's like fish in a barrel. Yeah, I need an HVAC installer. Yeah, man, Brian, hey, listen, thanks for posting. And I've got this thing that I give out to all my clients. And at some point, they're going to need some HVAC help. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you currently aligned with a real estate agent? Because I want to be able to send you a lot of business. And man, I'd be looking to have you send me business back if that worked for you. Again, it's just a way to, not have to go and do it one by one. But again, I call it a big cattle call when you do it. So, that's one thing. One of the other ways, and we've actually had Laura Rosen on can you pull that up, Jake? Jake, just go through this real quick. Maybe can you play it? Does it have audio?
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Let me see if this works, if I click play.
Yeah, not getting the audio, so maybe we want to
Yeah.
Through it.
Yeah. So, Laura just posted up to all of her network, seen over 1,000 times, talking about, how hot off the presses. I just received my real estate buyer's playbook. We talk a lot about this as a real great way to find the fishermen, right? Find the people who are going to send you referrals. But man, what a powerful way to take to your network and say something like, 2019, if you are looking to buy a home, I've got a 60-page workbook that's going to take you through the whole entire process from pre-approval to post-closing. Oh, and by the way, some of my most trusted partners are in this book. Like, you'll never have to worry about who to call when something happens to your home. I've got you covered there. Positioning, guys. It's all about positioning yourself as the expert, the go-to person. Because what do we always want? We want that phone to ring with people asking us to help them. And so Laura does a really, really great job here talking about it, talking about what's in it. Again, we also have one of Jeremy Devaney's agents as well, Matt Winterly. You've got that, Jake?
Yep.
Yeah. Again, it's, that's my post. Can you click on maybe Jeremy's? Or if there's his there. Yeah. Yep, actually go back up. That's VJ right there. VJ does the same thing. Super excited, just got my real estate buyer's playbook in. This book helps cover the entire buying process from A to Z. So, definitely getting out there and not keeping this whole thing a secret, right? Yeah, so right there, there's Matt, starting to talk about his playbook. So, that's another strategy that agents are using across the country that is really gaining momentum. And it's really getting the word out there that they've got something valuable when it comes to that. Anybody have any questions? I think we've got some questions. No? Let's see.
Yeah, Rick, are you able to see the Q&A?
I am.
I can read them to you if you can't.
Yeah, Bert Bracken.
Yeah, and then 2 more that just came in.
Let's see. Yeah, so with Paul Coleman's example, once they post that and people respond, he uses the opportunity to vet those vendors and make them the referral partners. Is that correct? Yeah. I mean, exactly, right? It's now you have people maybe you didn't think about that was in your network. I don't have an HVAC person, or I didn't when I bought my house, and that was actually a huge issue. So, again, going to Facebook, seeing who it is, and then taking to the next step further and moving that relationship from casual to committed. Mark does some really great training on that in the training section about having those upgraded meetings. We don't want anything casual here, guys. I talk about, and it's so glaring, I talk about my real estate agent, Linda, where she sent 10 deals in 5 years to her CPA. And until we talked about having that upgraded meeting and showing them how she can send even more business back to her and finding out that when she asks him for the business back, he says, oh, I didn't tell you, my wife is a real estate agent, So I don't let's be careful not to keep it casual because, you want to make sure that it's a reciprocal relationship. Okay. So yeah, absolutely. And are they posting on their page or on groups? I would do it everywhere, right? You want the biggest pool of vendors that you can pick from, right? And be choosy about it. So yeah, I encourage you to, or if you have 5 or 6 people already and you have 4 or 5 you want to fill, take it to Facebook. Who do you know that does this, does that, does this, does that, does that? Tag them below, and that's a really great way to get a bunch of people in action around it.
Hey Rick, can I make a quick contribution here?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear from any of the agents on the line as I share and then ask a question. I wonder how it is for you agents who are listening into this right now, and you've been exposed obviously to this opportunity, you're on board with the opportunity. I wonder how it is for you to go out into the world and have what we call powerfully upgraded conversations with these vendors and potential service provider referral partners. The reason why I ask that is because, in our experience, it's not the norm how real estate agents will get business. Real estate agents traditionally have a very B2C model where it's, either cold calling on FSBOs and expireds, or doing door knocking, or farming in a certain area, or doing some version of advertising, print or digital, that attempts to go direct to the consumer and then ultimately to get past client referrals. And that's a traditional B2C model. And I wonder how it is for you to think about going to a business owner. And so I'm just curious about that. And what I would want you to know is, to me, in what we've seen from our agents who are in action with this, is it's a real advantage. It's a real advantage going to a business owner who is spending the vast majority of their time in their business thinking about how to get more business and fighting that same fight that you are for their own business. And there's so much relatability that occurs when you go speak to a business owner about creating referrals. And so it's really important to know that there's a real advantage baked in when you add into your matrix of business development channels a B2B model where you have relationships with 30 or 40 different business owners who are all trying to get more business for themselves. Man, if you take this opportunity on, there is an extraordinary amount of opportunity there. Yeah, so I just wanted to put that in, and curious to see if anybody has a question or feedback on how that is for them.
Yeah, so if you do, I would love if you guys are in a spot to if you're in a spot to jump on, we'll just elevate you to panelist. Kendra, are you in a position where you can jump on camera? Can you just kind of comment below and see if
Hey, Kendra, I'll actually take care of it for you. I'm going to go ahead and elevate you to a panelist.
Because you actually,
sorry, Rick, why don't you share with people what Kendra has shared and then bring her up?
Yeah, so Kendra just said, hey, I'm new to this, but so far I have found the referral partners I have acquired are really surprised that business is done this way now. They are assuming cold calling and referrals almost 100% of the time. They're also blown away by the playbook. My next thing on my list was an event that Kendra and I had just done this week. I want to talk about that. So it's actually great timing that she can jump on. Kendra is a newer agent out of the Keller Williams, right outside Boston. She is a go-getter. She is ready to crush the world. And one of the ways that she is looking to grow her business in a big way is going to be the playbook.
And it looks like she's in the process of joining.
Okay.
Kendra, you might need to allow Zoom to use your camera and your audio. Even though you've been elevated to a panelist, you might still need to allow that. It looks like you've got audio. And the other thing, just while she's jumping on, Rick, Laura Rosen actually commented and said, to answer the question that I had earlier about where do we post this, post it in groups or on my page. Laura said, post all through social media, especially on LinkedIn. I actually remember her telling me that, and I highlighted it when we were just watching the video. She's had over 1,000 views on that video on Facebook. And that's just Facebook. I know she's posted on LinkedIn. I'm sure there are other places that she has posted that. She's very social media savvy, but
post it everywhere and post Post it often, guys. All right, Kendra, you're having an issue with getting on. Can you is your audio working, Kendra? Let's give her a second here. Okay, she'll jump in. She's going to work on it. But let me tell you one of the other things that we've had some loan officers do is first-time home buyer seminars. And there's a couple ways you can do it. And I think the general theme here that we're talking about today is just try everything, right? Just A/B test it. So try on what we're talking about, put your twist onto it, report back if it worked or not. And we'll kind of tease it out from there. But Kendra, myself, and one of our real estate partners put on a first-time homebuyer seminar this week. And, turnout, her response was great. And we decided to do a buyers and beers theme. So we went into wasn't a brewery, but it was a real cool restaurant, a couple of apps, couple of drinks. And we just had a really intimate conversation with a group of people. No PowerPoints, none of that stuff. But we all took about 15 minutes or 20 minutes and just kind of talked, real casually about what the home buying process was all about, and the mortgage process, and the legal process in Massachusetts. And it was really great. And, but we intentionally kind of kept the playbooks off to the side. And at the end, we took it out and we went through it. And the way that Kendra decided to position this is she wasn't going to give it out to everybody that showed up. And there are some real estate agents that will do that. I would say, I would wait. I would show it to them, tease it out, show them what they will get with the partnership with you, but hold it tight until you get some commitment. But we took it out and we went through it, and literally, everybody's eyes were like, oh my God, how do I get this? And Kendra was like, yeah, when we sit down in my office, I'm going to go through it with you. This is going to be your workbook through our, going through the whole transaction together. And I've got some of the best people in the back of this book that will help you during the process and after the process. So, wanted her to jump on and tell a little bit about that, but that's cool. We'll have her, I'm sure we're going to have her on a call coming up, because she's just a rock star and is really, she's got nothing in her brain that doesn't have her be a top producer in the next year or two. And again, going out using the playbook as the way to that vehicle. So some of the other ways you can do it is you can teach a first-time homebuyer seminar around the playbook. The playbook is put in a way where, it systematically goes from the pre-approval process to what happens next, the search, and then the closing. So, yeah, that was awesome, and we're gonna do a lot more of that as we get into the spring market here. We got a couple.
Are we able to get Kendra on audio at least, or no?
I can't. I was trying to play around with it as she was jumping on earlier. It looks like her audio might be blocked by her computer. Kendra, if you can hear us, I'm going to put you back to an attendee. I think we have somebody else that's going to join us. Rick, are you good with that? Are you complete with what she's added to the chat?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Kendra, if you've got anything else, just throw it in the chat and we can address it verbally.
Actually, I had one thought earlier and I was going to expand on it when she joined us, but she said in the chat that she has had a couple of meetings and that her referral partners are really surprised about this concept. And they've never heard of anything like this. They just kind of assume that real estate agents are doing business by cold calling and referrals. So that to me sounds like you're the first person that's gone to that referral partner and asked them for their business in that way.
Well,
so
I think if you're running into other vendors saying that real estate agents are coming to them looking for business, I'll eat my shoe. I think that it's such an untapped market, guys, and that's why people are having such success with this, because they just, because no one's asking them. Therefore, they're just not walking around their world with a real estate agent in their brain until you have that conversation with them and you plant that. And at the same time are able to have a vehicle in order to send that business back to them, which is, obviously hugely valuable.
So I just promoted, is it Louie? Just promoted you to a panelist. Are you able to hear us? I can see you. Let me unmute you really quick.
There you How's it going?
What's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. Where are you from?
I'm in Portland, Oregon.
Love it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten my books yet, though. I just signed up with my lender here, but I'm pretty excited to get started.
Awesome.
And, I'm new to this is my first coaching call, too, so I was just sort of feeling it out. But I there's some good ideas on there. I'm pretty excited to implement those once I get rolling with some of my preferred partners.
Yeah, and that was a really great time, while you're waiting on your books, is doing all that legwork. Have you seen that brainstorming form?
Yeah, I just got on there, checking it out.
Yeah.
And my coaches at my brokerage has some great ideas too to get me going. And I've already started talking to I have a couple of preferred partners already. I've just been kind of easing them into it. But since I don't have the books yet, I want to be able to show them those books.
Yep. Yeah, and there's some really great content that Mark produces in there around, not picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, I've got this thing this playbook, and it's a book," and and really kind of laying it all out over the phone, right? When you can't show them something physical, you have a chance of a risk of it landing differently than you want it to, right? So
yeah, exactly.
So we definitely encourage you to check out the audio. Because positioning this to get a yes every single time, or is at least, in the high 90% range, is all around positioning and your language and how you show up to the meeting. Right. Yeah. So we just definitely encourage you to do that. And man, we welcome you to the community. And,
yeah, cool. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm excited. And I'll be here every third Thursday at 8 a.m.
Yeah. Who's your loan partner?
It's Wilson Mack. He's
awesome.
Out here he's serviced in California, Oregon, and Washington. He's been a good confidant as well. So
he's a good dude.
Yeah. Tuned me on to it. And I was already doing some of the legwork anyway. So I'm just excited to have something to really take my business to the next level,
Yeah. I love it, man. Thanks for being part of the community. And man, I encourage you to get to the Facebook page, add comments in there, wins, all that stuff, and let us support you. And man, we want to see your business take a dramatic difference in 2019, and we're all here to help. Wilson, that's what we do.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Does Luke? Luke says he had a comment, but that maybe we answered it. But Luke, if you've got still a comment on Facebook Live, let us know. Laura, are you in a position to jump on? Laura Rosen's given some really great tips on the chat. Jake, is this? Can people see this? Or is this just a private?
Yeah. So if they post it in the Q&A, I think it's just for us.
Okay.
If you post it, if you guys are able to post in the chat feature, then you can chat to everyone. And everyone can see that. I'm pretty sure of that. And Laura, I know we've tried to have you on in the past and we only had audio from you, but we're willing to try again because we'd love to have you on.
Did we have a hand up too, Jake? Did I see that?
Yeah, that was Louie.
Okay, cool. Okay. Jake, why don't you read her comment?
Yeah, so she said, B2B is the way to go. Together with my financial wealth partners and my insurance partners, we are currently putting together a wine and wisdom financial wealth seminar for women. We are discussing real estate and financial wealth management. Ultimately, our clients own businesses and become a referral partner. Love the idea of creating my own BNI group. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's, again, think about the playbook really as a platform. The content in it is awesome. It really ups the experience that a buyer is going through. And that's great. But I want to just, it's great on its face, right? But really, I want to say, guys, the power is going to be in the back of the book. The power is going to be that community. The power is going to be on having those people out there in their world thinking about you, and just at dinner parties, on the ball field, on the, in the grocery store, they hear real estate, they hear you, everybody wants to drive referrals back. And here's the cool part about this, right? I meet with a lot of real estate agents that say, well, my leader, my team man, they're telling me to go cold call, expired listings, door knocking, doing all of those things. And listen, that drives a result. Like I can't say it doesn't. And I know that relationships drive a bigger result. And for me, I'll be totally honest and transparent here. I hate rejection. I'm a big wuss. When people tell me no, I'm like in a ball curled up. So, when we created this system, it was all with leading with give. Like if I know they say no to me, I'm fine with that, because man, I came with a ton of value. So over there, they must have something way more valuable, they're married to their loan officer, or like it's their best friend, or, so I just know when I lead with give, and when I sit in front of a vendor partner and say, I would love to grow your business, and I have a mechanism to do that called the Real Estate Buyer's Playbook. And all I'm looking for in return is just you to think of me every time you hear the word real estate. Yeah, that's an easy conversation. Like I if someone says no to me again, and I've already told them I want to help them grow their business, and actually show them how to do it, not just talk about my rates, product, and service, there's a big big benefit there as well. Mark, do you want to say something?
Yeah, couple of thoughts. Number one, as Rick's coach of 3 years, I can attest that he was really honest when he said he's in a ball and he's a wuss when he gets rejected. So that's true.
I've never cold called. I've never walked into a real estate office without being invited. So yeah.
So the other thought that I want to contribute here is that one of the positions that we take as a business at Aspire here is to teach you as salespeople how to be more effective. Because I don't know about you, but if I know the number of people I need to be working with in order to generate the income that I aspire to create, man, I want to talk to as few people as possible. I want to be as effective with as few people as possible. That's called being efficient. And so as you access the training, I want you to listen to it from that position, that a large part of what we put forth in the training is teaching you how to be really, really thoughtful and strategic in your language, and how you show up to a conversation, and how you get someone to show up who's not distracted and ready to be with you, so you could be more effective there and therefore more efficient in all of your business development. So with that being said, if you think about it, I know, like, for a fact that most real estate agents would say, and I just know from my own experience, when I say from fact, I know from my experience that most real estate agents would, and for this matter, any salesperson would acknowledge that they could be more effective with their past clients. So number one is just being in touch with them. Number two is being consistently in touch with them. But number three is being very effective and intentional when you're communicating with them. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this platform and the training we've put forth for both agents and loan originators alike will give you the training and the practice to go be effective with other business owners. And when you get really good at that, the value is that'll bleed over into when you're having conversations with your past clients. And I am certain that you can be more intentional and more thoughtful and more direct and more strategic in your language with your past clients that will have more of that business flow to you. So what's happening here is not only another business development channel that's going to make a huge difference for your business, it's going to train you to flex the muscles of being really effective and really efficient with your language, so that when you're speaking with your past clients, when you're doing any kind of cold calling or any other kind of prospecting in any other domains, you're going to be more effective there. That's it. Yeah.
Well, you're the master of language and effectiveness. So you're like I said, you're hearing from the master. And that's just what I mean. Language, we say it, language creates, and when you can really be intentional with your language, things start to happen in a more dramatic way. And so, again, I can't stress enough the importance of jumping on that training and getting what you can get out of it. One thing I wanted to talk about as another best practice, and again, I encourage everybody, especially new, like Louie and stuff, please go back to the past trainings. There's only a couple of them. And the first one is with, like I said, a good buddy of mine, Josh Leoch, huge producer. He says that, last year, over 20 referrals out of the 130 came from the Playbook and his relationships. One of the things that Josh does is he has vendors of the month. All right. So again, he's taking this concept that we're kind of teeing up, and he's putting it on steroids, right? So we're gonna put this in the Facebook page as well. I've got Josh's permission. He would love to share this with everybody. But what he does is he takes his vendors, and part of that whole promotion to, hey, I want to grow your business and I want you to send me business back. Hey, one of the other things that I do is I reach back out to my clients on a monthly basis with something of value. So, Mr. Lighting company or the lighting store in town, I'd really love to drive my past clients to your shop. What can you do that is pure value? Like, let's not mark it up to mark it down, but like something that that's going to win-win for everybody. What can I do to send this to my X amount of clients in an email that would have them come in and drive business back to you? And so this is what Josh does. He sends out, this is to me. I'm excited to announce my preferred vendor of the month, February of 2019. It's the lighting shop at Crown Supply. And they are giving a $100 gift certificate exclusively to Josh Leoch's clients, right? And then it goes into, all the other stuff. But what I'll tell you is, real estate agents, and this is just my experience I hear all the time, is it's so hard to figure out how to stay back in touch with my past clients so they don't forget about me, or they remember me to refer me. I don't know how to do it without picking up the phone and going, oh, hey, just checking in, i.e., send me business. How can I add value? And this is what Josh is doing. And it's not costing Josh anything. But Josh is able to stay back in touch with his clients, giving them something of value. It's a win for his lighting supplier, who's in the back of his book. And and he does this for his mover. He does this for his storage guy. He does this for me. I'll call him and say, Josh, we'll be able to do a $500 closing cost off of closing costs if they're looking to refinance or buy in the next year. Something like so. We're killing a bunch of birds here with one stone, and it's just another way, another thing. And there's, I always ask Josh, how do you do 130 transactions a year? And his goal this year is 150. And he just said, I'm always looking for ways to add value. And he sees the Playbook as the way to do that. And to piggyback off of that, he's sending this back out to all of his vendor, his past clients as well. As you add to the Playbook, as you add a CPA, as you add a contractor, man, what an awesome time to send a letter back or pick up the phone and call your past clients and say, great news. I am sending you, look out for your mail. I'm sending you a brand new plumber and a brand new CPA. I vetted them both. They're both the top of their industry. And hey, I'll get into that in a second. But hey, take out your Playbook. Maybe if the plumber retired, take out that plumber, put the plumber in, add the CPA. And if you have it, if you ever need anybody that's outside the Playbook, call me. Always remember me. Right. One of the things that my successful real estate agents do in the market is, and I do this on my own personal Playbook, is give something of value to encourage people to use the people in the book. So what I mean by that is one of my agents will get a $200 gift certificate to Pottery Barn or Home Depot or Lowe's, Amazon, whatever that may be, for $200. And what they will do is when they talk with a buyer, they'll say, hey, listen, here's my playbook. All of my vendors are in the back. Every time you use a vendor, do me a favor, send me a review. How'd they do? Did they knock it out of the park? You know, like give me some feedback on how they did. And every time you do that, I'm going to enter you to win this gift certificate at the end of the year, around the holidays. So what you've just done there is you planted in their head, there's something in it for me if I go and use, you know, Laura's vendors. Oh, and I always, you know, we always say, like, and if they're not in the book yet, call me, because I probably will know them or find some, you know, get you to someone who's top of their industry. So you are now looked at as a connector, and that's what you want to be. It's what we all want to be, right? We all want to be connectors, and giving something small, it's $200, but when you can get all this feedback back that your CPA is just not going to cover off the ball, they've gotten 6 or 7 deals in a year. Yeah, that's really great data for you to have. And, you know, and listen, if you haven't gotten anything back from that CPA, it's a really great conversation to have with them. You know, thank you for taking care of, you know, 6 of my clients, man. They're telling me you're doing great. And I know you haven't, you know, been able to refer me any deals. And, you know, what's that been like? You know, have you been able to ask a couple uncovering, have you uncovered any context with them to maybe see if they're looking to buy or sell in the next year? You know, let's talk about that. Listen, you've already given them 6 deals. So you have that ground cover to have that type of conversation. And by being able to track who's using your vendors and how they're doing, you know, again, come up with your own thing. I'm just kind of planting that seed, try it on. But that small amount of money that you're gonna give to them is gonna make a difference, because yeah, they're just gonna, again, keep front of mind. Like if we use Laura's vendors, there's something in it for us, maybe, you know? So anybody have anything to add to that?
Rick, it looks like Wilson has a question. I don't know if you can see that. You have that.
All right, so Wilson, can Wilson jump on? Not now. He must be in his bathrobe. It's still early out there on the West Coast, isn't it? Would you advise sending the email to referrals that have been received in addition to past clients for the monthly service provider spotlight? Yeah, I send it to everybody. Send it to everybody in your network. That, you know, that again, if it's a win-win, past clients, you know, referral partners, all that kind of stuff, I think I would open that up to anybody in your network. That because again, I think it's for the lighting company, it's a win-win. For you, it's a win-win. So yeah, I wouldn't discriminate against that piece of it. Really great questions, guys. I'm just gonna check.
Rick, just by the way, I spoke with Laura. I tried to get her on as a panelist and she's having trouble again, but she's going to be able to join us for the next call.
Okay.
So we can pick her brain about everything that we talked about today.
Yeah, so actually, can Laura actually put some things up in the Facebook Live? I just set up a referral program with Tom James Custom Clother. They're sending, they sent $750 gift to my luxury clients when they buy or sell real estate. Huge. They now refer their clients and their clients to me for real estate needs. I mean, guys, you only need a couple of those to make a real dramatic impact in your business. You know, when I sit down with my real estate partners, a lot of context that I love to uncover is, you know, going a little bit deeper to find out what their goals and objectives are for the next year or the next 12 months. Like I don't live my world in like January to January, right? Next 12 months, you know, where do you want to be income wise? And a lot of real estate agents, you know, they want to, you know, double their business. Some want to triple their business. Some just want a couple more deals a year. And what we found is by putting, if you want to get 10 more deals this year, if you can find 15 people to put in that back of the book, right? That's it. Like when you can put your head down and go and be in action around putting 15 dedicated people who are committed to sending you business and you sending them business, then those 10 deals, that's where you're going to get your 10 deals from, guys. If you feel that business is built on relationships and you make that your business, income just comes in the door. It just happens, right? And what it allows you guys to do, and I say this to my own real estate agents, and I have empathy for it. I mean, you guys are on this hamster wheel, right? You guys are on this constant hamster wheel. Where's my next buyer coming from? Where's my next listing coming from? Constantly out there looking for the fish. And when you can see it just a little bit different, Mark talked to it a little while ago, when you can have a mind shift change a little bit and say, yeah, let me be smarter. Let me work smarter, not so harder, with going and finding fishermen that are committed. Yeah, then the amount of business that you strive to have in 12 months is just going to be there. It's just going to show up. And I don't know about you, but if I was going to receive a lead, would I want it to be from a internet, maybe someone that's looking to compete with me in my own business? Or is it from a CPA that just uncovered that, they need to be homeowners and they're referring them to you? Or, the financial planner saying they need to, they called me and said, what about getting a bigger house? And I said, it makes total sense. And I referred them to you. Yeah, I don't know. I would like the latter. And so that's where, this book is really allowing real estate agents to just to achieve their dreams of what does 10 deals do for them in their business. And it's funny, I always, I come across agents that just have this, I want to do 20 deals. Well, what's that going to mean for you financially? Well, I don't know. My average commission is $10,000. Yeah, that's $200,000 in income. What is that going to really mean to you? What does that allow you to do? And keep going, diving deeper. And so for the real estate agents on this call, think about what that number is. But not just think about what the number is, think about what that number is going to get for you or do for you or provide for you. And when you can start to get deeper into what it will actually mean to make $200,000 this year, maybe it's putting a pool in your backyard for family time, or taking that vacation to Paris that you've always wanted to do, or, be able to do some, whatever it may be. When you can dive in, getting 15 people in the back of the book becomes something that's just laser focused for you.
Yeah, what I would just add to that is getting present to that for yourself, really valuable, as Rick pointed out, and recognize that the vendor partners you're going to meet with, they all have their own unique version of the answer to that question. What's important to you? What are you trying to build here? How are you trying to build it? What's the client count and the income that, is really exciting for you? I want to be a part of that. See, when you discover that, you've got somebody over there that is experiencing you, the agent. You've got a vendor partner over there that is experiencing you, the agent, as somebody who's really, really interested in them. Man, you want to go create a relationship with someone? Just be authentically interested in them, really. Right? And then they leave that time together with you wow, I've got an advocate in the world. I've got somebody in my corner. And then next thing you know, they get an email from you saying, hey, just want to check in with you. Send me I got 20 books, send me 20 business cards. And then a week later, it's hey, I just closed with a client and they need whatever. They need a plumber. They need a landscaper. Here you go. Here's your first referral. It's yeah, contribute. And when you do that, then you know, you could be a leader in the relationship, and you go have a one-on-one or a group meeting for that matter, you know, at some level of frequency, you know, maybe every 2 months or every 3 months. And you could say, hey, I've been really working hard to contribute to you. How is this going for you? Yeah. Have you been out there? Have you discovered there's opportunities? Do you need some help with that? Do you need help referring me? Do you know how to do that? Right? You could just be a leader in the relationship. And I promise you that person's going to respond to you because you've been leading with give. It's just like, now go do that 20, 30, or 40 times with different business professionals. You will have more business than you know what to do with. I promise. It just requires you being in action and being a leader with it. And we've given you some access around how to do that in our training.
It's incredible. It's just incredible. Jab, 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 right hook. Gary Vaynerchuk. I know he's not that popular right now in the real estate world after some comments he made, but man, there's some truth in to give, and then you have the ability to ask for the business. Giver's gain, guys, and we've given you those tools to go out there and do that. One thing as we wrap up, someone made a comment, and I wanted just to highlight it here. Excuse me. There are going to be some people who say, you know what, I can't refer you. People that literally grow their business with business from real estate agents or in the real estate field, or, you know, insurance agents, loan officers, say, you know, certainly can't be a one-to-one. It's just, we work with too many real estate agents, movers sometimes. So what I want to do, what I want to leave here is, that's great. And you know, that's going to happen. And if that's the case, then they have to be good. Right? They just have to be good. You know, they have to be, if they can't refer you one-to-one, they've got to be good. Now, for CPAs, financial planners, estate planners, all those guys, you know, if they are married to someone, I would recommend maybe interviewing a couple others that aren't married to a loan officer, or to a real estate agent. But for the ones that, you know, really, you know that they can't refer you everyone, but at least having the conversation puts you up on the list. You know, I would still recommend using them as long as they're good. We're bumping up around on the hour mark. Jake, do you guys have anything to add before we sign off?
I'm complete.
All right.
At this point.
So guys, third Thursday of every month, we are here for you. Loan officers, please encourage your real estate agent to be on the call. Agents, please be here every call. If you can't be, definitely listen to the videos. Real estate agents, if you have people in your office that you feel would have dramatic impact, this would have a dramatic impact in their business. You know, someone like just kind of living from abundancy that don't really care if, you know, a couple other people have the playbook. It's not going to take away from your business. What I would encourage you to do is make an introduction with your loan officer to that real estate agent, and see if there's some alignment there, right? Again, we're all about giving, we're all about expanding, and so we just encourage you, and I want to acknowledge the loan officers on this call, just so you guys know, as real estate agents, they've made a very big investment to be here, to provide all of this stuff for you, and so, you know, loan officers, good job taking the leap and faith in us and getting your agents enrolled. So, that being said, guys, have an amazing month, and we'll see you in February. No, see you in March. See ya.